Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. Our show is a production of our political committee, CRRH, or the Campaign for the Restoration and Regulation of Hemp. We are also a product of our nonprofit organization, THCF, or the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation. We have an exciting show for you tonight. Musically, we have Carrie Stickler and John Pounds, two-thirds of Marquee. Hi, folks. Are here on the show, and we have Mr. Tim Pate and I will be co-hosting and taking your phone calls. We have some video footage from the THCF Medical Garden put together by our magnificent webmaster, Aiko, and more exciting stuff, so stay tuned. And then we'll buy a few crucial moments by bringing out our infamous dancing cannabis leaves. Okay, Carrie Stickler, John Pounds. Welcome, men.
Get close to you, baby, 'cause I can't get close to you, baby, like the water is wet. Close to you, baby, like the hair on your head. Close to you, baby, better remember what I said. I wanna get close to you. I wanna get close to you. I wanna get close to you, honey, no matter what you say or do. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. I wanna get close to you, baby, no matter what you say or do. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. I wanna get close to you, baby, no matter what you say or do. Play a little Mr. John Pound. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. Closer and closer, baby. I wanna get close to you, baby, no matter what you say or do.
Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Want to welcome our viewers. Welcome you, Tim. How are you?
I am good.
How's the pumpkin carving going?
Oh my word! I've been carving a lot of pumpkins. I still have about 100 to go over the next week.
Got to have you carve us a pumpkin for next week's show, even if you're not here.
I know. I won't be here next week.
On.
I will actually be at a party because next week's show is on Halloween, as you know.
That's right.
So yes, I've been booked for a party, and I know some of our friends will be at that party too. So
well, we will have to get a pumpkin here at the very least.
I know.
Kind of
true.
THCF, Cannabis, Common Sense pumpkin.
Okay.
Everyone will tune in next week to see it. So.
A hempy Halloween, huh?
Hempy Halloween,
yes.
Indeed.
Okay.
If you're out there and you have a question for us tonight about ending adult marijuana prohibition, restoring industrial hemp, or helping medical marijuana patients, then give us a call at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448.
It's been a few weeks since we've seen each other, so what's been catch me up?
We had a big conference in Berkeley.
That's right.
For NORML, National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws.
Many of our friends went to that, didn't they?
A lot of the Oregon contingent was down there.
Very good.
And a few
the Seattle people
various factions. Sure. Vivian and the whole Seattle Hemp Fest won the Activist of the Year award.
Ta-da!
I was happy to see that.
Since I'm doing that because I'm also on the core staff.
You're one of the core staff,
so,
and everybody was thus honored on the core staff.
That's a really good. That's very cool.
It was.
That's very cool.
There was just an incredible party, and I saw my first hash bar. There were about 40 different kinds of hash, and they just try it out. They had a hot brick to heat it up on, and
did you get to try every sample?
I didn't try every sample. No, I couldn't quite try.
I would imagine that would be overwhelming almost.
It was pretty packed. And the music was great. It was a party put on by an old friend of mine that I'd known back in D.C. around NORML, and he runs one of the major dispensaries down there in Oakland. Got to visit Oaksterdam and see the whole setup of marijuana businesses all around central Oakland. We'll talk about that more in a second. We have a caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi. Hi, how are you doing? My name is Joyce.
Well, how are you? Turn that TV down.
And I have
a little delay,
for you. I wanted to know if we come to the NORML meeting, if we bring our ID or our license and our card, should we have a problem? Because I know there's a lot of patients on disability, and some people don't have the $35.
2 weeks ago, it was really packed. Generally, the one at the end of the month is not as crowded as the one at the first of the month. The fourth Saturday is a relatively new innovation. It's only been going on for about 5 or 6 months now, where the first or the second Saturday of the month, it's on the second and the fourth Saturday now, but it just used to be on the second Saturday. And the second Saturday is still a lot busier. And so I don't think you'll have a problem getting in. Now, the Oregon NORML meeting is for medical marijuana card holders only from the state of Oregon. You have to have your picture ID, a medical marijuana permit, and you have to be a member of NORML, or Oregon NORML. And they sell memberships at the door for $35 a year. And like I said, they have these meetings twice a month, so that gets you into at least 24 of them. What Oregon NORML does is they take in donations of plants and donations of medicine, and then they give it away to patients for free. And it's a pretty neat environment. It's a little bit like Amsterdam. They have it on the second and the fourth Saturday of each month at the corner of Southeast 49th and Hawthorne at the Mount Tabor Theater and Pub. And so it's only open to medical card holders.
Okay, so if you do have your card and your ID, if I'm understanding correct, even if you're like a disability patient, and I know things are tight right now with the economy, will you still be able to go to that meeting?
Yeah. If you are an Oregon NORML member and a card holder, you can definitely attend the meeting.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and I just want to say thank you, and thank you for everything you do, and vote.
What was that again?
I wanted to tell everybody to make sure to vote.
Oh, yeah. Vote.
Vote, please.
It's about time. Did you get your ballot in the mail?
We need change.
To me, and so I haven't sent it back, but believe me, I will.
I haven't voted on mine yet, but I'm really hoping that we have a major change. I know Obama has said that he is going to stop the raids on medical marijuana dispensaries in California and allow states to license or allow medical marijuana patients to grow and possess marijuana and get the federal government out of it. And that's the way it should be. And if he just does that alone, I'll be a happy guy. And,
Well, I understand.
there's a lot of other options.
I
we're
know.
hopeful for.
I know. There are a lot of other options, but we need that. That's one of the things we need to have right now is some
Where
leadership.
McCain has said just the opposite. He thinks he wants to bust all of the medical marijuana
He wants to put
clubs.
us in jail. Thank
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Thank you. You know, I mean, that whole generation wants to put us in jail. I'm not interested in that.
Any other questions? All right. Well, thanks for your phone call. If you've got a question out there for us tonight, give us a call at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. I guess we have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question.
Where am I getting this?
I have a card that gives my grower's name, and it just lists my date of birth. It doesn't really have. Is that good enough to go into the Hawthorne Theater?
Yeah, you have to have your photo ID that matches the name on your card. And if you have, your photo ID, either an Oregon driver's license or an Oregon ID card, along with your grower's card or your caregiver card or your patient card, then you can get into the meeting.
And they're on a map.
Okay, I'm having difficulty hearing you.
Okay, I'll say it one more time. Television. That'll help. Because there's a several second delay on there, and it helps if you turn that down. So once again, if you to get into the meeting, you have to have a medical marijuana card issued by the Department of Health, Department of Human Services, the Oregon Medical Marijuana Program registry identification card, either as a patient, a caregiver, or a grower. If you have one of those three cards, or more than one, then and your photo ID, and you're a member of Oregon Normal, then you can get into this meeting.
Okay, now I'm not a member of Oregon Normal.
Say that again?
I said I am not a member of Oregon Normal.
You can join at the door.
Oh, good.
And it's
that's
$35 a year. And they have these meetings twice a month. They have some other activities as well. There's coming up, in fact, we have the Oregon Medical Cannabis Awards. That's coming up on December 13th. I know John Trudell, famous Native American activist, is going to be there. And we've already got the judges in place, and we're looking for more entries. So if you're out there and you have what you feel is an award-winning strain of medical marijuana, you want to contact Oregon Normal. And
It might just be an award-winning strain.
Yeah, you might win an award. I came in third last year, and
did?
we're
But it was a big ribbon.
Yeah, so I got a little trophy actually.
Right on.
For that, I got a ribbon the year before,
Oh, yeah?
which was kind of cool.
Yeah. The trophy's nice, though.
The trophies are neat, and so I was real happy about that. Thank you. But it's all the way it works is this: people turn in their marijuana into Oregon Normal. Then the card holders are judges. There's 28 judges. And so growers turn in 1 ounce of marijuana, and they split it into 28 grams. And so 1 gram of each different kind goes to each of the different judges. The judges get a judge's book, and they're supposed to test each strain of cannabis over a 1-month period of time. And they rate it in 8 categories, and those include taste, appearance, smell, potency, and other things I can't remember right now. But then you're given a numerical scale on each of those 8 categories of 1 to 10, and then whoever has the highest numbers, they add up all those numbers, and whoever has the highest numbers wins. And there's first, second, and third prizes, and then there's also runners-up in certain categories like potency and smell and taste. And that's where I'd won the ribbon the year before for the strawberry cough strain with smell and taste. Didn't come in the top 3, so therefore we're eligible to get one of the runner-up.
But you wouldn't throw
ribbons.
it away, huh?
Huh?
You wouldn't throw it away, huh?
Oh, no, definitely not.
I wouldn't think so.
And so that tells you about the OMCA Awards. They're coming up on December 13th, and you want to contact Oregon Normal about those. And I know we can pop their phone number up there with our character graphics generator here in just a moment. So there, and if you have another call for us, call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448.
We got a call?
I guess so. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Yes. is interested on getting some information because I have severe rheumatoid arthritis, and I keep getting all kinds of hard prescription drugs, and I don't care for it. And everybody tells me I should try the marijuana, that it would help me better.
Well, you certainly qualify with rheumatoid arthritis. Chronic pain is the single largest category of medical marijuana patients all across the United States, and we have doctors all across the United States who can help you get a permit.
Really?
Did you say something?
How do I do this?
I couldn't hear that.
I couldn't hear it either.
How do I get this information? Who do I get in contact with?
Very good question.
See that number right there?
That number there on your screen here in Portland, 503-235-4606.
There you go.
Right now, it's an answering machine. You can leave a message, but they'll get back to you tomorrow or Monday. And we have lots of doctors that are helping patients 6 days a week. So just call 503-235-4606. If you're in the Portland area, that's the number to call. If you're outside of Portland, we have a Seattle number. It's 206-878-1701. That's 206-878-1701. And we have an office up there in Bellevue. We also have an office in Denver, Colorado, and the Denver number is 303-403-9996. That's 303-403-9996. We have another office down in Riverside, California, and that number is 951-782-9898. It's 951-782-9898. We have a new office in Las Vegas, and the Vegas number is 702-202-0249. That's 702-202-0249. Now, if you're outside of Portland, Seattle, Denver, Los Angeles, or Southern California, you can call our toll-free number anytime at 1-800-723-0188. That's 1-800-723-0188. We have offices in Honolulu, Hawaii as well. We're starting to see patients next month in Missoula and Billings, Montana. So we'll spread into our 7th state in November, and we're looking to spread into one other state before the end of the year. We'll have more information about that after the election. So I hope that helped.
There's an election?
Good.
There's an election?
There's elections. And you need to vote. If you're not registered to vote, you should register to vote. Well, it's too late now here locally, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you should register to vote anyway.
That's true.
And hopefully if you're in Oregon, we in Oregon vote by mail.
Vote
so
early,
we have
vote
our
often.
initiative. We already have our petitions, or our ballots. That's what they are, ballots.
That's right.
In the mail.
That's the way we vote here in the state of Oregon.
And, of course, we are supporters of the Oregon Cannabis Tax Act that would end adult marijuana prohibition and restore industrial hemp and help medical marijuana patients, allow any individual to grow their own without a license, and allow patients to get low-cost subsidized cannabis through pharmacies. It would allow adults to buy cannabis through bars and through other stores that only sell to those above the age of 21. So for more information about the Cannabis Tax Act, you can go there to cannabistaxact.org. That's right there on your screen, cannabistaxact.org, or to OCTA 2010. That's another one of our websites, OCTA, OCTA 2010.org. Happy to thank, we'll show you here, Mr. John Walsh for bringing us about another 200 signatures.
Very good job, John.
I don't know. Our switchers died or something. They're not there anymore. Hello, switcher. Go to camera 2. How about Hey, there. Hey. Petitions. Thank you, John. Good work. Another 200 signatures.
That's very good.
It goes.
Very good.
That's all.
Do you have any idea where we're at right now? What's the progress?
We're still in the early stages. I'm not 100% certain,
okay,
to be honest.
That's fine.
But we're kind of considering maybe some revisions. We've had a lot of folks afraid that somehow the Oregon Cannabis Tax Act would hurt the medical marijuana program. And in fact, it would replace the medical marijuana program with a new program that I think is a better program. But some people are afraid of that change, and they are afraid that somehow if OCTA passed, it wouldn't go into effect, but somehow it would hurt the medical marijuana program.
Right.
So we're
Well,
considering...
I'm not saying right, but I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, and even though that's not what would happen, and legally it's almost impossible for that to happen, it's something that's a real concern, and so we're considering addressing it and making a couple of revisions.
Revisions in the petition
In the
itself?
petition wording.
Oh,
and so
okay.
that would require withdrawing the petition and starting anew.
Okay.
So we're in the process of trying to determine whether we're going to do that. We're working also with some other groups that are working on a dispensary initiative. So if they withdraw their petition, we're likely to withdraw ours, and we'll work together on a common petition. We'll see if that comes to pass. We've got a meeting coming up after the election. See what comes down in the federal election first, because that's going to affect things on a lot of different levels.
Okay. Well, and we'd have to get out a message to all the people who've already signed it that they need to sign
They
again.
need to sign again, if that's what we decide to do.
Right.
But
Exactly,
right
of course.
now, there are a group of patients for basically that have this fear that it's been stoked by some people that somehow they wouldn't have medical marijuana if OCTA passed.
Well,
and that's not true, but minor revision.
But the fear exists.
The fear exists, and a
to address
6-word
it.
revision, that's what we keep getting told. Just add 6 words that says OMA will continue. And so, I don't want to be
that makes
obstinate.
sense, doesn't it?
Well, maybe.
Well, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, the reason to do it isn't really a real reason, but if it addresses a fear that's a real fear,
Yeah.
whether it's a rational fear or not,
Exactly.
you don't always have to deal with rational things. You have to deal with irrational things often.
It is the law. So,
That's the way the world works.
it's not always logical.
That's true.
I'm afraid.
That's true. If you're out there and you have a question for us tonight, you can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448.
Now, they recently established guidelines up in Washington State.
They did. They've established some new guidelines where patients in Washington are now allowed to grow 15 plants.
Yes.
And at any stage of growth. They don't say some of them, like in Oregon, we can have 24 plants, but only 6 of them can be taller or wider than a foot.
Correct.
In Washington, the 15 plants are not limited in any way.
stage.
They can be little cuttings, or they can be big budding plants.
Cool.
So actually, I think the Washington law is better because you can have 15 budding plants per patient.
True.
Where here in Oregon, you can only have 6 budding plants
Now,
per
what's
patient.
the amount they can carry?
The amount will be
Oh.
exactly the same as we have in Oregon at 24 ounces.
All right.
So that remains a constant that would be allowed, 24 ounces.
Well, I'm glad that they finally settled on something that, at least.
Yeah, I
Because that was
have
the questions
testified
for
in many
years.
counties where the counties held that a 60-day supply meant you couldn't cultivate anything at all.
Right.
And so the judges and the police would argue that because the medical marijuana law didn't set a limit, there was no medical marijuana. You could legally possess it, but you couldn't legally grow it, and you couldn't legally buy it.
It just doesn't make sense.
Well,
when
it
you
did.
can't accommodate for a
But
patient.
still,
who's
they
sick,
prosecuted these poor old sick people.
I know.
And I had to run up, for instance, in this one case, there was these 70-year-old gentlemen. One of them grew the plants, and the other one was the patient. And they busted the 70-year-old guy for his 2 plants. And even though he was a caregiver, they took him to court, and they prosecuted him for 3 years. And I had to go to court 3 times in Pasco, Franklin County, Washington, to go in and testify that the medical marijuana law says they can have a 60-day supply, and 2 plants would definitely be significantly less than a 60-day supply.
definitely.
And so eventually they dropped the charges, but it took 3 years of
And a lot
wrangling.
of money and issue and
Exactly.
court time.
I went up
Wasted
there,
court
traveled up to Pasco repeatedly,
Right.
and so it goes.
That's
We
5
have-
hours from here.
It is. It's a ways. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Shauna.
Hi, Shauna.
Hi. I'm kind of curious about the OCTA Act. I have lots of family that is in California on the Medical Act right now. Sounds like it would be much more substantial. It would basically be free enterprise for marijuana in Oregon, correct?
Yeah, basically anyone could grow their own. You could open bars and coffee shops, and if you got the right license from the state government, you wouldn't need a permit to grow your own under the Oregon Cannabis Tax Act, but you would need a permit if you wanted to sell it. And
Okay, is there a reason why you guys are going for such a higher extreme measure as opposed to doing something like what California is doing down there in regards to just taxing medical marijuana?
Well, you know, California's law was a single sentence that said that doctors could recommend medical marijuana for anything doctors thought it was appropriate for. So no initiative ever passed in California that allows dispensaries. It just kind of happened organically based on that medical marijuana law. And, you know, we had an initiative here in 2004. Maybe you don't know if you're new to the state, but in 2004, ballot measure 33 would have allowed dispensaries. And it was voted down with just 43% of the vote. And so I'm not sure whether dispensaries would have ever passed in California either. I definitely wouldn't have passed in some parts of the state. And it's all academic, though, because, you know, they're there now through the aegis of that single sentence, the Compassionate Use Act of 1996. So it seems that we already have medical marijuana here in Oregon, and it's working pretty well, and that we need to make the next step. You know, I personally have to deal with a lot of patients who have medical marijuana permits who still are losing their children because of child custody issues. They're still being arrested if they're 1 plant over or a half ounce over, and who still have to deal with the court system. So what we have here is not a perfect system. And so we think ending adult marijuana prohibition and restoring industrial hemp will completely change the dynamics and the economy. Once industrial hemp is allowed, I truly believe that we'll see biodiesel cars running on hemp oil, and that the byproduct from pressing hemp oil from hemp seed is a high-protein food that could wipe out world hunger. So, you know, it's nice that medical marijuana patients have access to marijuana. I'm all for it. In fact, I've helped probably more people than any other person in the United States get a medical marijuana permit. In terms of over 40,000 people have come through our clinics so far. But I think that it's just a half measure, and we need to move on and have an end to adult marijuana prohibition and a restoration of industrial hemp.
How many signatures do we need to be able to make it get to sign the petition in order for it to make the ballot in 2010?
We need 84,000 valid or registered Oregon voter signatures. And so because a lot of people's signatures are illegible, or they aren't really registered to vote when they think they are or say they are, we really need to turn in about 130 to 140,000 signatures to guarantee a place on the ballot for a statutory measure.
But we only need 4,000, but we turned in 130,000?
84,000.
We need 84.
Oh,
We need
84,000.
84,000, but we need to turn in about 130,000.
Right,
about
right.
an extra 45,000, a little over 50% more, to cover signatures that are invalid, illegible,
Right.
You know, that they're problematic signatures.
Yeah, they do a sampling of the first 100 pages or so, and whatever percentage there is not valid. If you don't have at least that many more, then they just stop right there and say you don't have enough signatures and hand it back to you.
Right.
So you gotta
How
have
close
enough.
are we on doing that?
Excuse me?
Well, we just started. You know, in Oregon, we have 2 full years to gather signatures.
Right.
So we're working now for the ballot in 2010. And we have until July of 2010 to qualify initiative. Now, the Medical Marijuana Act of 1998 didn't go into circulation until May of 98, and they gathered enough signatures by the first week in July of 98 to qualify. So we've just begun our campaign and don't have very many signatures in hand yet, and we're considering some revisions to address issues. We just got done doing some polling, and so and we have these other issues out there of people's perceptions regarding dispensaries and the medical marijuana law. So we're considering revising it to try to garner more support, but we haven't decided on that yet. But we have
Now,
plenty of
if
time.
somebody's interested in volunteering to help you petition and get signatures, where would they call to sign up for that?
That number that just popped up right on your screen, 503-235-4606. It's 503-235-4606. You can also go to our website at cannabistaxact.org. At cannabistaxact.org, you can print the petition out and get all kinds of information about it there. Or you could come by our office at 105 Southeast 18th Avenue in Central Portland, just one block off of Burnside. That's 105 Southeast 18th Avenue.
How do you feel about getting this on the ballot? Do you think this is a realistic measure, considering that we're basically going to deregulate marijuana?
Well, the way you go about getting it on the ballot in Oregon is you get those 84,000 valid signatures.
I understand that. I'm just asking how you feel. Do you think that's going to happen? Do you think we're going to be able to make it to the ballot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm 100% certain we can make it to the ballot. There's no doubt about that.
Will it be taxed at all?
Yeah, it would tax the sales to adults.
Okay. And you'd have to be 18 or 21 to buy?
21.
21
Same
to
as
buy.
liquor store.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for all the information, and I'll definitely look into seeing what I can do to help get that on the ballot and see about
I appreciate that.
office.
Thank you very much.
Good. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to your help.
All right,
Thanks.
you boys take care. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for your call and your support. We have a little video clip now. It has one of my favorite songs out there. It's by Human and the Human Revolution, who were at our Hemp Stock Festival here in Portland
Great people.
last September, and he played the party with the hash bar that I went to last week in
Oh, you got to
Berkeley.
see him
He was
again.
there. I
Right
got
on.
to see him.
Right on.
And this song, Tree of Life, basically says exactly what we are for. This song says it better than anything else. Okay, well, maybe the song's not there. I'm not sure, but let's take a look at the rub, and we'll talk about it in just a minute. Silence. You don't want silence on the air. Okay. Well, so much for that audio there. We're an all-volunteer show here. And so...
and they told me...
I listened to this with this music. Maybe next week we can get... Can we get the music next week? We will have the music next week. I've been wanting to get this song played on this show for years.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I
cool.
never, ever to date got this song on the show.
And I'm going to miss it.
We have permission from the artist to play it. He sent me the DVD. We've tried to play it. And now we'll get it. We'll get it. You tune in next week.
Promises. Bunch of stoners.
Somebody brought this nifty bottle in here, camera 2, if you can close in on it. Humboldt Brewing Company has hemp ale. Can you believe that? Hemp ale. And what they do is they have hemp seeds in there. There are no hemp flowers. There's no buzz associated with it, but there's a hemp ale. And so that's it for our show and tell this
alcohol
week.
is that?
I don't know. Percentage alcohol doesn't say that either. Doesn't say much except hemp ale from the Humboldt Brewing Company.
There you go.
Hemp's very popular down in
5%.
Humboldt.
5%.
They say 5%.
So that's a strong beer.
Yeah.
Strong ale, excuse me.
Okay, I think we have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
on.
She's on. Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey. She's got feedback.
Okay.
Turn down your TV.
I told the TV off.
All right. Hello, caller. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
We can hear you.
I can't tell if I'm on or somebody else is.
See, I have nothing up. It's ringing.
But you're not anymore. You tried. We tried. If you have a question for us, give us a call at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. You know, our audience is out there just getting, a little high.
You think?
And sometimes they call us and we're a little high.
One of the things that you need to do, too, is turn the TV off behind you.
And
so
you can hear them saying,
yeah.
turn it down.
I know.
Well, they should have done that before they...
Damn it. Friday night. What do you expect?
Well, we keep getting feedback. Are you still there?
She's not saying anything.
Hello?
Okay, do me a favor. Hang up on this call, and let's get another call. Okay?
All right.
Yes, this is live, all volunteer cable access television, folks. And so we do the best we can.
Yeah, we have fun, actually. It's been,
Yeah, it is fun.
I've been on the show, just going into my third year,
it's
way
been a
into
while.
that. Yeah, we've had some fun.
Hundreds of shows.
I know.
What
I
is
know, it's
tonight's
true.
show? I think we're at like 470 or something like that.
Somewhere in there. Closing in on it.
Yeah. So anyway, soon we'll be at show 500. By the
And
summer.
that's like 14 years worth.
I know.
It's not just overnight.
I've done every single one of them so far myself.
Last week, in fact, there was a rerun.
Yeah?
I saw that rerun. I actually was at home and I watched the show.
How was
Because I normally don't get to watch the show. I'm on the show, so why watch it, right?
Yeah.
But I watched it, and it was a rerun from January.
Uh-huh.
And it was when Lanny Spurlow was on
Oh,
the
all
show.
right.
Yeah. And I remember mentioning about a show in Southern California that we were going to do on that show. In fact, that was the only time we mentioned it the whole year because the show didn't happen. And so for all of you wondering, because of that rerun last week, what happened to that show? Well, that show didn't happen in Southern California. But all the other ones
But we
did.
tried.
Hempstock happened, and Hemp Fest happened, and
Yep.
a lot of other things. So
I guess we have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on our show.
Yeah,
Hey.
I'm Dave Murray from Milwaukee, Oregon. My question was about how much has the medical marijuana permits contributed to the state's general fund so thus far? Does anybody know?
We know exactly how much because the marijuana fund money has been kept separate and segregated. And so one time, back in 2005, the legislature went in and took almost $1 million, about $980,000, I think it was, and put that into the budget of the health department. It went to health department fees, and not associated with the medical marijuana program because the medical marijuana program is self-funding. So there was a surplus of almost $1 million, and the state of Oregon took that and used it for other purposes. So they've only done that once so far. I think there's a surplus right now of about $300,000. I think that's the number I saw last.
About how much has been contributed so far, though, from permits? Do we know?
On a monthly basis, I think they are generating well in excess of $200,000 in revenue fees each month. And so a lot of that goes into hiring the personnel that run the program and print the cards and pay the phones. They set aside a portion to the state attorney general, so the state attorney general is completely reimbursed for any litigation or any questioning that they have about the state law. So there's no cost.
How many patients are there?
Right now, there are over 22,000 patients, I believe, and 11,000 growers or caregivers.
And so
altogether, there are about 33,000 people with permits to legally possess and cultivate marijuana in Oregon, and 22,000 permits to also use it.
Now you can expect at least 20% of those to be on low income.
More than that, probably more like 40%.
You think 40%?
Yeah, I do.
I wonder if Madeline has those numbers. We'll ask her
the
next time
state
we
has
see her.
those numbers,
I know.
and if we had access to their website at the
We could get
touch
that.
of a button, we could pull that up.
Yeah.
It's all available through our website. If you want to go out to hemp.org, that's www.hemp.org, then you can get to the state's website through that and look at the numbers directly.
But even 12,000 to 15,000 of those people, each putting $100 a year into the program, now that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money on an annual basis. That's well over $1 million that we contribute to that fund to self-support our effort. So, I mean, we are totally self-supporting. In fact, we've been able to contribute money to the state because of that. And then one of the things Madeline said a few weeks ago on the show was that they were trying to keep the fees and the amount of money that they have in that fund at not at a minimum, but at an operating level, so that it's not too high. It's balanced out in a way so that if
not too
if
tempting,
the fees go up too high, we can bring the fees down because we don't need it.
Yeah.
It's just a way of monitoring it without tempting the government to take all that money away from us again, because that was money straight out of our own pockets, out of disabled people's pockets that they just took.
We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello, caller.
Are you there?
Well, they told us we had another caller.
Yeah.
Hello.
What are you guys doing to prevent the federal government from having a red flag for everybody out here? Because they have gone in on two different people that I know that used to grow for the state of California.
Uh-huh.
And what is being done to prevent them from coming after the cardholders here in Oregon?
Well, this is what we did. I personally got a subpoena for 17 medical patients' records, and from a grand jury. And we went to court and moved to throw that subpoena out and have it quashed. And the chief judge for the Eastern District of Washington wrote an opinion that you can get on our website saying that our clinics, THCF medical clinics, are integral to the success and the implementation of the state program, and therefore our records are protected from intrusion by the federal government. And so at the same time that they subpoenaed me, they also subpoenaed the medical marijuana program right here in River City, the State Department of Human Services. And they also went to court. And the subpoenas that they received for the same 17 individuals were quashed and thrown out. It's pretty rare to get a grand jury subpoena quashed. But the judge ruled that the federal government had overreached its authority and that these records are private medical records and not subject to federal intrusion.
The way also that we wrote the laws here in the state, it took the commercialism out of it. It's one of the reasons that at the Portland Normal meetings we're able to give plants and give medicine. The commercialism has been dropped out of that completely. And so it's a patient-friendly law rather than a consumer pushed law like it is down in California, where you got all these dispensaries and you can go into any dispensary and buy it at $75 to $80 a gram or an eighth, which is absolutely unreasonable for somebody who is sick and on disability. They can't afford things like that. And so what we had to do here was take the commercialism out of it. And because there's no money being exchanged, the feds aren't as interested.
Okay. That's cool, because I've been looking to get the card. It's just that's been one of my primary things.
Yeah. Well, when we got that subpoena last year, I immediately went to the public and made it public and said we're going to fight it every step of the way. And we got the help of the American Civil Liberties Union. And we had a real legal team fighting this thing, and we got a great ruling from the chief judge of the Eastern District of Washington.
They won.
Protecting medical marijuana patients' privacy.
Right on. That's cool. I appreciate everything you guys are doing for the medical part of it.
Thank you.
You guys are doing a good job.
Thanks. We're also trying to end adult marijuana prohibition and restore industrial hemp. So we're comprehensive when it comes to the cannabis sativa plant. We want to just make it free for everybody to grow their own, and I want to see industrial hemp return to its rightful place in our economy as our primary fuel and the primary fiber for building materials and for clothing.
Oh yeah, back to World War II.
Yep, exactly. We want
Only
to
with modern technology.
do away with the petrochemicals and replace it with industrial hemp. And once marijuana is legally regulated, I think we'll see a massive change in our economy away from these toxic petrochemicals toward healthy industrial hemp.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys very much, and you guys
All
did
right,
a good job.
thank you.
Yeah, good questions, man.
Thank you for those questions. If you have a question for us tonight, well, we got about another 10 or 15 minutes here. You can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448.
Now, where are you headed next?
Tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., my flight takes off to Hawaii.
Oh, good for
And
you.
I'm going to see patients in Kapa'a on the island of Kauai on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I'm going to testify in court in Hilo, a federal trial, as an expert witness. And then on Tuesday afternoon, we're going to see patients in Hilo. And then on Wednesday, we're going to see patients in Honolulu at our office on Queen Street in Honolulu. And then on Thursday, we'll turn all those cards in to the state medical marijuana office and pay a fee of $25 each. The doctor has to pay the fee in Hawaii. And then we should get our cards soon and then fly back on Thursday afternoon to be back at midnight on Thursday just in time for next week's show.
Good for you.
There we go. And the week
That's a
after
long
that, we'll go off to Vegas to help set up our second Vegas
Yeah,
clinic.
you've already had one clinic there.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going back, and then we're going to start seeing patients soon thereafter in Missoula, Montana,
I was
and
gonna bring
Billings,
that up.
Montana.
You said Montana on your list.
Going to go to Montana, raise me up a crop of dental floss.
I was going to say, be a dental floss tycoon.
Yep. For our Frank Zappa fans who recognize
That's
that
it,
reference,
yes.
there you go.
Yes, all us long hairs, as he would say, shut up and play your guitar.
Something like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you have a question for us, just call us at 503-288-4448. Yeah, so we also had a clinic down in Brookings, and we're expanding all over the place.
On the Banana Coast.
Yep. They had a number of interesting panels down at the Normal Conference. Madeline Martinez got to present a presentation. Actually, it's just the second presentation of the day on the Oregon Cannabis Tax Act, and that was well received. She followed Rob Campea of the Marijuana Policy Project, talking about their initiatives in Massachusetts and Montana.
How are those doing?
They're doing real well. In Michigan, it looks like they're going to win. It's a 100% possibility. It looks like the polls are showing it has 70%.
That's what I saw, too.
That's what we're
They're
looking
very
at.
positive.
Yeah.
And in Massachusetts, did you say?
Yeah, Massachusetts is a decrim bill, and it's looking pretty good so
Okay.
far. It's a little more of a toss-up. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi.
Howdy.
I turned my TV off.
Hey, great.
I was just wondering, I've been interested in getting a card for a while, but I was just wondering how to go about talking to my doctor, if I should keep seeing my regular doctor, or if there are other doctors, and what would qualify.
If you can get your regular doctor to do it, that's always the best way. And so it's best if you're comfortable bringing that up with your regular doctor, then you should go ahead and approach them. I think the first thing you should do, though, is download all the information from the Medical Marijuana Program's website, or ask them to send it to you in the mail. That way you can go in with the paperwork in hand and educate them if need be. Now, if your doctor doesn't want to discuss it, and actually we have about 8,500 doctors here in Oregon that are qualified to sign these things. You have to be either an MD, a medical doctor, or a DO, a doctor of osteopathy. So there are about 8,500 MDs and DOs, and out of those 8,500, over 3,000 of them have signed medical marijuana permits. So your odds are almost 50% going into your doctor that they might be friendly to the idea. But some doctors don't like it at all. I've had some patients that their doctor, as soon as the patient asks for it, the doctor's thrown them out. So if your doctor doesn't want to do it for any reason, and you have one of the qualifying conditions, then we have a whole series of doctors who are willing to help you throughout the western United States.
And which website can I go to for this information?
You know, we have a web portal to all of our websites, including this TV show and everything, at www.hemp.org. So it's hemp.org. Or you can go to that website right there on your screen, crrh.org. That's our campaign for the restoration and regulation of hemp. And either one of those will get you to the other one. It's thc-foundation.org. All of these sites are kind of interlinked, and they're linked from that hemp.org portal. That's our web portal to the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation and the campaign for the restoration and regulation of hemp's websites.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Yeah, the conditions out there, for folks who don't know, the largest condition that most people qualify for is chronic pain. And whether it's degenerative arthritis or rheumatoid arthritis or crushed discs in your back or pain from migraines or any of many different conditions, that is about 60 to 70% of the card holders. Next is spastic conditions, things that cause severe and chronic muscle spasms like multiple sclerosis, asthma, and other spastic conditions. Then there are seizure disorders, things like epilepsy. Then there are gastrointestinal ailments. That's probably another one of the largest sectors. That includes GERD, IBS, Crohn's disease. And then there's cancer, of course, and AIDS. That qualifies, as does glaucoma. And so if you have any of those conditions, then we have physicians that can help you get medical marijuana permits throughout the western United States. Here in Portland, for a physician referral, you'd want to call us at 503-235-4606. That's 503-235-4606. If you're outside of Portland, you can call us at our toll-free number. That's 1-800-723-0188. It's 1-800-723-0188. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello, caller.
Hello, Paul.
Oh, there you
Hi.
go.
Yeah, how are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Our kids went to school together.
Oh, okay. It's a small world.
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
Go right ahead.
Is it true about the $70 fee? If you pay $70, that you can find out if the police have ever tried to check up on you as a patient or a caregiver or a grower?
There is a fee. If you think it's $70, that's probably right. I'm not 100% certain on how much that fee is, but there is a fee. For that fee, the medical marijuana program will tell you everyone who's ever asked for your medical marijuana information.
Okay, the other thing I wanted to ask you about is how's your wife doing?
She's doing very well. She's here in the studio tonight, and she's recovered from her bout with breast cancer and seems to be completely gone.
Thank
We're
God.
hoping won't rear its ugly head again. So she's doing great.
Well, that's great. Well,
She's
you give
working
her a
in our
big
clinic
hug
now,
for me,
too.
and thank you guys for everything you do.
Thank you. Appreciate your call. I think I remember when our kids were in Grout. I remember that guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My kid. It's been a long time since my kids were in that elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest is a senior now. Gosh.
Oh, my word.
I think that's about the time span. So maybe we can get one or two more calls out there. We just have less than 5 minutes to go. So we'll see if we can or we can't.
Well, you never know. It depends on whether we can get it through the air tonight.
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
you know what? I'm not surprised. It's getting close to Halloween.
That's true.
Things eerily can happen. And there are a lot of gremlins in this
I
world.
like to call it Hallowweed.
Oh, yeah?
It's the harvest season, you know, and so
Oh, yeah, definitely.
there's a lot of Halloween out there right
It
now.
has been harvest season, hasn't it?
It has a lot of busyness.
Yes. Yeah. And
Busy.
just, because it is harvest season, I want to
Work.
caution everyone again. Security is paramount at this time of year. You
Loose
also
lips sink ships.
you want to make certain that you get rid of whatever you don't have need for. And any extra, you want to make certain you pass it on to others or destroy it, because you don't want to get busted.
That's true. And we want to remind you out there that if you have a strain of marijuana that you think is the best, you want to contact Oregon Normal. They are taking entrance right now for the 6th Annual Cannabis Cup Awards. And so you want to contact Oregon Normal, and then tomorrow there's this meeting for card holders, for medical marijuana card holders, the Oregon Normal twice a month card holder meeting at the corner of Southeast 49th and Hawthorne. You want to be there no later than 11:30 because they lock up the doors after that, and nobody gets in and out after. Well, they get out, but they don't get in after they lock the doors.
That's right.
So you want to come to that.
It's a great party. I mean, it's a meeting, but I call it a party because I have so much fun.
It helps a lot of patients, and it's a little taste of Amsterdam right here in the River City.
So true. So true.
Well, I want to thank all you for watching. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing here?
Well, I know it's pumpkin season, so if anybody wants to come see me carve pumpkins, they can Sunday at Fur Points Farm in Canby, and next week at the OMCCC party on next Friday on Halloween itself.
And
I'll
you're
be carving a giant
get us
pumpkin.
a pumpkin in here through hook or crook.
I will do my
I'm
very
twisting
best.
your arm.
I know you are. Ow, ow, ow.
So I want to encourage you to tune in next week to see this fantastic pumpkin.
Okay,
he's going to carve for us, and we're going to go out with the full band of Marquis is now here. The drummer has arrived. He's managed to get in. Tune in next week and help us restore hemp.
Right on.
Night. Marquis, take it away, gentlemen.